Peace everybody, back with another video. This is angry father of U.S. Marine Kareem Nikoui, killed in Afghanistan yesterday. I was happy when my son joined the military under Trump, but Biden turned his back on him. Yeah, so now I'll bring you another serviceman that was killed in Afghanistan as well. The father is totally angry right now that his son was killed in Afghanistan because Creepy Joe turned his back on his son to get him out of Afghanistan. 100% fed up. Reports yesterday was one of the worst days in American history. It will always be remembered by Americans as the day a ragtag bunch of Islamic terrorists in Afghanistan killed 13 U.S. military members. In addition to killing U.S. service members, the violent suicide bomber attacks killed or injured an untold number of people desperately waiting outside the airport for America's inept commander-in-chief to formulate a plan to help them escape the new Islamic terror state. Yeah, so yesterday was one of the worst days of all in American history. It will always be remembered by Americans as the day a ragtag bunch of Islamic terrorists in Afghanistan who have killed 13 U.S. military members, in addition to killing U.S. service members as well. The violent suicide bomber attacks killed or injured an untold number of people desperately waiting outside the airport for America's inept. But we know Creepy Joe does not have a plan to get them out. He is just going to keep turning his back on him, and Jen Psaki, I don't even think she knows where she's going with it. The Biden regime was ill prepared for the nightmare situation they created at the Hamid Karzai International Airport, where tens of thousands of American citizens and Afghan allies have been desperately waiting for their chance to be airlifted out of the hellhole filled with bloodthirsty animals, many of whom were riding around in stolen American military vehicles. The vehicles, along with billions of dollars worth of military arms and equipment, were left behind in Joe Biden's botched exit from Afghanistan that a fourth grader could have predicted would happen. And so this Biden regime, they were ill prepared for the nightmare. Our military vehicles and weapons were left there. They should have been destroyed a long time ago, but they weren't. And now the Taliban, they have got everything, all of our military weapons and all of our military vehicles that they had stolen from us, because Biden would not do anything about it. And of course there was people waiting out desperately for the chance to be airlifted out of the hellhole filled with bloodthirsty animals. Only moments ago we shared the name and identity of U.S. Navy medic Maxton Soviek from Berlin Heights, Ohio, whose void will be felt by his heartbroken family and circle of friends. So moments ago I just did that video about Maxton Soviek, who is from Berlin Heights, Ohio, and his family will be felt by his heartbroken and circle of friends. His family and friends are going to be heartbroken because they're going to miss him so much. And again, of course, here you see is Max, who was killed in Afghanistan yesterday. Now the Daily Beast has released an interview with Steve Nikoui, the father of the U.S. Marine Kareem Nikoui, who was killed during the terrorist attack on the Kabul airport yesterday. The father of the murdered U.S. Marine was notified yesterday within 8 hours of his son's death when he got a notification on his phone that was linked to his doorbell camera that he had visitors on his front porch. So the Daily Beast now has released an interview with Steve Nikoui, the father of the U.S. Marine of Kareem, who was killed during the terrorist attack on the Kabul airport yesterday. And the father of the murdered U.S. Marine was notified 8 hours after his son's death. And I don't know why it has to take that long, because it's really pathetic. You gotta wait 8 hours. They should have contacted the father immediately, not wait 8 hours after. And of course, the father, his phone was linked to his doorbell that he had visitors on his front porch. Daily Beast. He had been watching the news for any word of his son or his comrades and wanted to make sure he intercepted any bad news before his wife and other son got home and saw a clutch of Marines standing there. And so the Daily Beast did report this, that the father has been watching the news for any word about his son or his comrades, and he wanted to intercept any bad news before his wife and his other son got home and saw a clutch of Marines standing there. The Marines who came to deliver the news of Kareem's death were more choked up than me. Nikoui said, I was actually trying to console them, but at the same time, I just wanted them to get out as soon as possible so that no one from my family came back and saw them. I thought it appropriate that I'd be able to tell them. So the father wanted to tell his family, but he didn't want the Marines to tell his family, so he wanted to do it himself when they got back home, so his family would not see the Marines outside of his door. Even though the father was trying to console them, but he just wanted them gone so he could tell his wife and his other son that his son was killed in Afghanistan. I haven't gone to bed all night, Nikoui continued. I'm still in shock. I haven't been able to grasp everything that's going on. As of right now, his plan is to go to Dover, Delaware, and pick up his son's remains. So his father would have to go to Delaware to pick up his son's remains. Even though the father is still in shock right now. And then he said, I haven't been able to grasp everything that's going on. And of course, he hasn't gone to bed all night to calm down because he stayed up all night. Kareem loved what he was doing. He always wanted to be a Marine, said Nikoui, noting that his son had been stationed close to home at Camp Pendleton. That made it easy for Kareem to visit on weekends, and he often brought along 10 or 15 other Marines with him. When the holidays rolled around, Kareem always brought a few buddies with him for a home-cooked meal, according to Nikoui. So Kareem loved what he was doing. He enjoyed life. He enjoyed doing what he wanted to do. Noting, this is what Nikoui said, noting that his son had been stationed close to home at Camp Pendleton. Of course, it made it easy for him to come home on weekends and often brought 10 or 15 other Marines with him. But when the holidays came around, he only brought a few buddies with him for a home-cooked meal. And now when the holidays come around, Kareem is going to be nowhere at the table because of what happened in Afghanistan. And of course, here's Kareem himself. I think this is his mother. I'm not sure, but this is him who was killed in Afghanistan yesterday. Through tears, Nikoui expressed flashes of anger along with his anguish. He said he wants to respect the office of the president, but doesn't have much love for President Joe Biden at the moment. A Trump supporter, Nikoui was happy that Trump was in office when Kareem joined the Marines. I really believe this guy didn't want to send people into harm's way, he said. Yes, so through the tears of the father, he expressed flashes of anger along with his anguish. He said that he wanted to respect the office of the president. Personally, I would not respect the president at all because Creepy Joe turned his back on this young man here, as you can see up here with his mother. That's Kareem himself, another one who was killed in Afghanistan. He was also a Trump supporter. Nikoui was happy that Trump was in office when Kareem joined the Marines, so the father was happy about that. He also said, I really believe this guy didn't want to send people into harm's way, he said. So, yeah, so he didn't want to send nobody in harm's way, but as you can see here with Kareem, it's just sad that he is gone. And it's all because of Joe Biden, who turned his back on everybody. They sent my son over there as a paper pusher and then had the Taliban outside providing security, said Nikoui. I blame my own military leaders. Biden turned his back on him. That's it. Yeah, so this is what Nikoui has said. They sent my son over there as a paper pusher and then had the Taliban outside providing security. Now he's blaming his own military leaders, and of course he's blaming Biden turned his back on him. That's it. So Biden did turn his back on Kareem, who was supposed to get him home. So this is the second one that has died in Afghanistan. There's 11 more people that I will have to post the videos as soon as the articles come out from the Gateway Pundit, because that's where I'm getting these from. So Kareem and his mother, my condolences goes to his family and his friends. May God keep them safe, and may God keep the arms wrapped around the loved ones. Please leave your comments below. I am out.